important today. But these instincts can also lead us to make bad decisions when they are applied to complex issues. Science is here to help, but only if you understand how to use it. Science is a tool that helps us to understand why things happen. Further, it helps us predict what will happen in the future. Science is not magic. It is, in fact, the opposite of magic. There is no mystery about it. Fundamentally, science is a formalized way to evaluate cause and effect relationships rigorously. In a way, we are all scientists because babies learn to understand the world through cause and effect. But scientists bring some powerful tools to this fight: controlled experiments and math. A controlled experiment is one that eliminates potential confounds. This allows us to attribute the right cause to the effect. Math, particularly statistics, is how we know whether an effect is likely to be real or whether we are observing something by mere chance. These points may seem nitpicky, but they allow us to draw appropriate conclusions when our intuitions might otherwise lead us astray. This is not to say that scientists are never wrong. Scientists are people, and people make mistakes and have biases that will sometimes lead to inappropriate conclusions. But the scientific method is a very reliable way to reveal underlying cause and effect relationships. If you are skeptical, remember that science is what puts airplanes in the sky, mobile phones in our pockets, and, for most of us, food on our tables. We, the authors, believe that using scientific evidence is the best way to systematically evaluate potential sources of worry. We are also people living in the same dizzyingly complicated and confusing world as everyone else, and are therefore subject to the same concerns and questions. This is, in fact, what motivated us to write this book. We are both scientists, but most of the topics discussed in this book are outside of our area of expertise. In writing this book, we relied on our scientific training to identify credible sources, to read and understand scientific publications, and to interpret data. In the following chapters, we present our findings in the hope that they will be useful to others, but we do not claim to have the final word on any topic. We are research scientists, not medical doctors. We do not provide any medical advice. If you have medical concerns, you should consult your healthcare provider. We encourage listeners to investigate issues that interest them further. The selection of topics covered in this book is by no means comprehensive. Indeed, there are so many things one could choose to worry about that this is an impossible task. What all of the chapters have in common is that they discuss ordinary, everyday concerns. Some compelling issues have notably been left out. For example, there is no chapter about nuclear war. This is not to say that this should or should not be a real concern, but it is certainly beyond the scope of this book. We have also left some topics like vaccinations and global warming unaddressed. This is not because these issues are unimportant, but because they have been so frequently and thoroughly covered elsewhere. Of course, some things have been left out simply for lack of space and time. If, for whatever reason, you do not find the topic that you are looking for covered in this book, or if there is something you would like to know more about, we encourage you to research it on your own. In Appendix A, Do It Yourself, we have some suggestions about how to undertake this task. For each topic that we cover, we have assigned a worry index. This is a way to quickly understand the relative risk posed by each issue. Please recognize that this is a subjective score meant to be illustrative, not definitive. Of course, individuals will have different priorities and may emphasize different factors accordingly. This is absolutely appropriate. In general, we believe that you should only worry about things that are A, likely to happen, B, have the potential to do great harm, and C, can be avoided or mitigated through personal action. You will find that some things are very unlikely to happen, and therefore you can stop worrying about them, as there is no need. There will also be something